Hey Huskies and friends, how are you? Or as my grandma would say, how you do? Are you feeling rested? Did you get some actual reading done in reading week? I know I got some well-needed rest and also took the opportunity to catch up on some final assignments because this semester has been dragging me through it. And I know I'm not alone. But you know what, guys? We're never alone in our struggle. And GBC makes sure of that. I know we did an episode some time ago about GBC counseling services, but we had to bring it back. And this time, it's not just me. We have the professionals joining us. So let's welcome Lovelette Ford as she tells us more about herself and what she does here at GBC.
Yeah, my name is Lovelette. I'm one of the counselors at the college, and my role is really to help and assist students with personal challenges they might be going through. It could be individual challenges, interpersonal, it could be family, and it could be academic, but really they're to assist students with their different personal challenges they're experiencing.
So we just came out of reading week, which means we're at our halfway mark. And I've shared here on the podcast, as excited as I am about getting my diploma, I'm very anxious about my future. And I know that's not an isolated feeling, and it comes with a host of other fears and anxiety, which can lead to stress for some. But what other stresses are students feeling at this time of the year? Well, Lovelette told us a little bit more about that.
I think students are dealing with a lot, I see, at this time of year. They're quite overwhelmed sometimes with academic pressures that they're dealing with. For some students, when they're graduating, which is very exciting, as well to next steps, sometimes that can be a stressor for them. For other students, it could be family responsibilities or balancing part-time jobs. And sometimes it's just they also might be dealing with mental health challenges as well too, and kind of need some help and support with that as well.
Sometimes being an active participant in life is overbearing. So how do we balance? What do we do when we have heavy personal stressors coupled with school stress? Lovelette weighed in on some of the best practices to manage that.
Yeah, that can be really challenging for students when they're dealing with really difficult time, if it's a passing of a family member or maybe the ending of a really significant relationship for them, and how to balance school with that. I think a really good place to start would be booking an appointment with us, with one of the counselors, for them to be able to share their personal challenges that they're going through and just be able to talk about it. It can be very difficult when we're trying to go through challenges just on our own, as well too, that time that they're talking about those challenges, it might give them a better idea how they can balance their academics and the different supports that are also available within the college that can help. If they need some academic support, there's a tutoring learning center that can be of assistance or help for them, depending on what they're going through. If it's a medical reason, that's where accessibility learning services can be really helpful too. And as well, students are always welcome to speak with a professor if they're comfortable sharing with the professor their personal challenges and see if there could be extensions for their assignments. So I would say it could be helpful, definitely, just to book an appointment when you're going through a really challenging time. And the counselor can also assist and help them, knowing about different resources or supports at the college that can be helpful, and just to balance a little bit more with that personal challenge and with their academics.
Now, the last time we shared on GBC Counselling, we told you about some of the different counseling and mental health support services available at GBC, and Lovelette shared all of those with us and more.
We offer a lot of different types of support. So generally speaking, for students to access our services, the best is to start with an intake appointment. So they can book an intake appointment online or by phone or email or in person. And that could be at our St. James, Casa Loma, or Waterfront campuses. As well, they can access booking appointments through calling the office directly or emailing our office. So the intake appointment's the first appointment for students to get connected to our counseling services. And during that time, the counselor would meet with you, find out the areas and concerns that you have. The counselor would then help you get connected to these different supports. And the types of supports and help that we provide is we offer short-term counseling. So a student can meet with a counselor for up to 6 sessions, and generally probably meet with that same counselor usually every other week. So we have our short-term counseling. We have our single session appointments as well too. So students maybe just feel like they just know they want to book for a single session. They can do that through our front desk too or online. And then they'll just book them accordingly to what's available with the counselor schedule and the availability they have for their schedule. And we have same day appointments as well. So students can book a same day appointment in person or online. And again, that's available at our St. James, Waterfront, and Casaloma campuses. And we also have support groups. So our support groups, we have a variety of different support groups. We have closed support groups and open support groups. So open ones, students can just drop in. They do need to fill out an intake form prior to that. But those groups that we have our sharing circle. It's a wonderful group that students can attend and meet with other students in a really supportive environment run by 2 of our awesome counselors. We also have a mindfulness movement group that's run by one of our great counselors that students can just drop in to those groups. And then we also have our closed groups that are more skills-based, focusing on skills and strategies for anxiety and depression or just different interpersonal challenges. So the Mindfulness Skills and Stillness Movement Group is run every Thursday from 12 to 1:30, and that's an in-person group. And students are welcome just to join until 1 p.m. if they have to attend classes, and that's at our St. James campus. Our sharing circle is run every Tuesday from 12 to 1 p.m., and that's in person at our Waterfront campus. For both of those groups, if they go onto our website, you'll see an intake form for the mindfulness group that you just need to fill out beforehand. And then for the sharing circle, they just need to email our front desk for support. And then our changing thoughts group to improve depression, anxiety, or self-criticism, that's run every Wednesday, starting from March 5th to the 26th from 2 to 3:30. That's a virtual group that we'll be running. And the Healthy Relationships group is every Thursday, starting from March 6th to the 27th from 2 to 3:30 p.m. That's in person at St. James. So those 2 groups, the Changing Thoughts groups and the Healthy Relationships group, those are closed groups. If you are interested in starting in any of those groups, it just would start with booking an intake appointment. And all the information can be found on our website as well.
It's always helpful to have these reminders. And don't forget the short-term counseling, single session appointments, and same-day appointments are offered both in person and virtually. As a community worker student, I'm a big advocate for using these supports, and we wanted to know how Lovelette sees this service impacting students.
I've been at the college for some time, and I definitely can say it's really great to see the growth in students when they're accessing our supports, that they feel really heard, which is really important, especially when people are going through really difficult times. I think they also find it really helpful just how they have a safe and confidential space to talk about their concerns, and as well that they're learning different skills and strategies or different supports or organizations that can be really helpful for them. And also find it really helpful if they're learning about resources at the college that can be helpful to them and in the community as well too.
And before Lovelette left, she gave us a few words of advice as we come to the end of our mid-semester check-in.
At the beginning of the semester, it can start pretty smooth and people are feeling really okay. And then all of a sudden, all the assignments, the group projects are starting, and that's where students like, oh my goodness, I have so much to do. So what I would say, definitely please feel free just to book an appointment. So it could be intake, it could be a single session, it could be a same day appointment to book to speak with a counselor, you're just finding things to be overwhelming or challenging for yourself. And then as well too, like maybe if you're doing pretty okay, but you know a friend, like a classmate at the college who's not doing that well, definitely just, encourage them to just book an appointment with us, and we'll definitely best assist you that we can. And again, everything is confidential that we discuss in that space. Also, to hang in there. I know it's really difficult. We were all students at one point. It's a lot to manage with part-time jobs and other responsibilities and academic pressure. So definitely hang in there. And as well, I'm a big advocate for self-care. So please make sure you take care of yourself and, get the sleep, go for the walks, listen to music, do things that are healthy and good for yourself too.
Thanks, Lovelette. Our mental health is just as important as our physical. And in these frigid temperatures, it's like a warm blanket, knowing that GBC provides counseling services to help us whenever we feel overwhelmed. And remember, guys, there is no shame in using these supports. Remember how we did self-care a few episodes back? Consider this one of the best self-care practices you can do. Peace of mind is everything. Remember, if you missed anything, check out the show notes for all the links to GBC counseling and information you might have missed. And if you just want a quick rundown of the services and what they do, you can check out our previous episode on counseling. Well, that's it from us this week, Huskies. All the best for the rest of the semester. Remember, we're in this together, so let's finish strong. So until next time, stay safe, stay warm, stay strong, and walk good.